the topic that we are discussing, that is law of contract. And under law of contract, in this video we will be discussing the discharge of contract. So under this heading we have, that is discharge of contract by lapse of time and operation of law. Okay, so first we will discuss by lapse of time and then we will discuss the operation of law. More or less we have discussed all these points. This is given separately so that you understand in much better way. Otherwise you know, I know. So discharge of contract by lapse of time. What does it mean? That in civil law time is very much important. Fine. Hence, if one of the parties of a contract didn't perform his obligation, we have discussed this concept. Please try to correlate that. Remember the Limitation Act that we have discussed. Okay, so it is talking about the Limitation Act. However, the other party performed his duty. In such a condition, the second party has the right to initiate legal action against the first party. Fine. Who breached basically. But to initiate such lawsuit, there is time period. And if the aggrieved party doesn't initiate the lawsuit within the given period of time, then he will lose his right to file a lawsuit and the obligation of the contract will lapse by time. So I believe you must understood, because this concept we have discussed earlier. Nevertheless, check it out with an example. Again, your friend come to you and he wanted to sell his bike and you are ready to buy his bike. Okay, so you just, both of you agreed to buy the bike at the price 20,000. What happened? And your friend didn't tell you. The bike has some defect, major defect, okay, in the engine. So after only a few days, you realized that the bike is something like badly damaged. So not in condition to just run on the road. And when you inquire about the cost of that damaged part of the engine to repair, it is again very much expensive. And that is known to your friend. In this case, what happened? Your friend cheated you. So now you have the right to initiate lawsuit if your friend is not ready to give you the price that you paid to him. Okay, in this condition you have the right to initiate the lawsuit against your friend. Fine. But for certain period of time, if you didn't initiate the lawsuit, say for 3 years, after that you will automatically lose your right to initiate lawsuit against your friend. So it is bound by the time. That is known as Limitation Act. And after that time you are not allowed to file a lawsuit in the court. Okay, so this is discharge of contract by lapse of time. Since you had the right but you didn't use that in the given period of time. Okay, so that is the discharge of contract by lapse of time. Now the last one that we have, that is discharge of contract by operation of law. It is saying the law of land plays very important role in the execution of contract. It means if a present law allows certain type of business and hence parties made contract to do business for 5 years. However, after 2 years law changed and the business of such products became illegal. In such a condition, the contract is impossible to complete and hence will discharge by operation of law. So already we have discussed this point, isn't it? So it can be discharged at any point in time when the law changed. Okay. So this is all about the discharge of contract. I believe you must understood all the modes of discharge of contract that we have discussed here, starting with the performance, then by agreement or consent, then by impossibility of performance, by lapse of time, by operation of law and by breach of contract. Though we didn't discuss the last one, by breach of contract. I will discuss that in a separate video. The purpose behind that, not including that in this video, only this, that the rest of the 5 that we have discussed in this video, in these cases parties have no fault, means parties are at no fault. Okay, so there is no breach of contract kind of thing. But the last one, that is breach of contract, means essentially one of the parties is something like at fault and have the bad intention to cheat the second one. Okay, so because of this reason I separated it from all these 5. So in next video I will be discussing the breach of contract. Okay, and in the meantime watch it again and again, so that you can appreciate all these terms. Only then you would able to understand the next one. Okay, so see you in next video.